Hello, this is Algebra, topic 7-2 on horizontal asymptotes. In our last assignment we talked about the vertical asymptotes. You look and see where the denominator equals 0, and that can create a vertical asymptote. Today we're going to be talking about horizontal asymptotes. So, this graph has a horizontal asymptote right here at 1. This is at y equals 1. That's the horizontal asymptote. Now, to do this we need a few rules. And it's actually more than one rule, so you might want to keep this handy as you work on these problems. So, n of x means that this is a polynomial expression involving x in the numerator. D of x means this is a polynomial expression in the denominator. And if they have no common factors, for instance, x plus 2 is on top, x plus 2 is on bottom, that would be a common factor. If they don't have common factors, then the graph has, at most, one horizontal asymptote. So even though it is a rational function, it might not even have one. So let's take a look. There are 3 rules. Each of these talk about the degree of a polynomial. That means that the exponent, the largest exponent in the polynomial. So if the largest exponent in the numerator is less than the denominator, then y equals 0 is your asymptote. Now if they are the same, where the largest exponent is the same in the numerator and the denominator, then we do a and b, where a is the coefficient of the numerator and b is the coefficient of the denominator. The coefficient is the number in front of x. Now if the numerator has a degree that is larger than the denominator, then there is no horizontal asymptote. Let's go ahead and put this into practice on some examples. So we look over here. Our degree is 3 and 2. So if our degrees are 3 and 2, I'm going to go ahead and just pull up from the previous page. The numerator is larger than the denominator. 3 is bigger than 2. So there is no asymptote. There is none. At least not a horizontal asymptote. Over here our degree is 1 and 1. If you don't have a variable, if you don't have a number in front of the exponent, then it's 1. So these are the same, so we need the coefficients. So our coefficients, again, if we don't have a number in front of the x, it's a 1. Our 2 over 1. So horizontal asymptote is y equals 2. So the degree on both of these is 1, so that means they are the same. And over here, n was greater than d. Let's go ahead and take a look at example number 3. Here our coefficient is, so our degrees are 1 and 1. 1 and 2. So this means that the numerator is less than the denominator. And if it's less than, then our asymptote is at y equals 0. And then the last one, we don't have an x, so this would be x to the 0, and this would be x to the 1. So n is less than d, and if it's less than, then our asymptote is at y equals 0. So let's go over this again. First we look at the degrees. If you don't have an x, then the degree is 0. If you don't see an exponent, then the exponent is 1. If the degree is bigger, then there is none. If the degree is smaller, then it is 0. If they're the same, then you need to find your coefficients. The coefficients are the numbers in front of x. Again, if you don't see it, it's 1. And so 2 over 1 equals 2. And so our horizontal asymptote is at 2. Let's go ahead and move on. Well, let's go ahead and put domain, vertical asymptotes, and horizontal asymptotes all together. Well, our domain, the bottom cannot be 0, so x cannot be negative 2. Which means that our vertical asymptote is at x equals 2. Our degrees are 1 and 1. So our coefficients are 1 and 1, which equals 1. So my horizontal asymptote is at y equals 1. The degrees were the same, so I needed to look at my coefficients. Looking at number 6. Now this, we need to rewrite, factor it out. What multiplies to negative 3 and adds to 2? Well, that would be 3 and 1, with the 1 being negative and the 3 being positive. So x cannot be a positive 1 or a negative 3, because 1 would set this to 0, 3 would set that to 0. Your vertical asymptotes then are at x equals 1 and x equals negative 3. Now your horizontal asymptote, we have a degree of 2 and a degree of 1. The numerator is less than the denominator. So if it's less than, then it's y equals 0. Moving on to our next example, number 7. I'm going to go ahead and simplify this. This would be x times x minus 4. Well, x cannot be 0, and x cannot be 4. Which means our vertical asymptotes are x equals 0 and x equals 4. Our degrees are 3 and 2. My numerator is bigger than my denominator, and when it is bigger than the denominator, there is no horizontal asymptote, so we just write none. Let's go ahead and look at some graphs. Here, we just want to figure out what our horizontal and vertical asymptotes are. So horizontally, there's our imaginary line that we don't cross, so that's at 3. And vertically, that's the line we don't cross, so that's at -2. It's important that you put the y equals and the x equals. Now horizontally, well, there is no horizontal asymptote. And vertically, we never cross that line, so x equals -1. Moving on to number 10. Horizontally, we are here. And vertically, we are here. Now number 11, it's a little bit tricky. We do have a horizontal asymptote. It just happens to exist right here. But our horizontal asymptote would be this. Even though it exists right here at 0, 0, we never touch it over here. We never touch it over there. That is a horizontal asymptote. Now vertically, we have 2. We have one right here. And we have one right there. So at x equals -2 and at x equals a +2. Hopefully this is very easy for you. You may want to refer back to the notes at the bottom of the first page. Refer to these until you get some idea of what it is that you need to be doing. Good luck on your assignment and have a good day.